All right, just a quick note on Amazon as it relates to Amazon's Antitust Paradox by Lina. Before I get into like the other stuff that I've learned. Two things about Amazon. One, its willingness to sustain losses and invest aggressively at the expense of profits. And two, integration across multiple business lines. That's how they've risen to the dominant level that they're at right now. But what's interesting, this strategy defies the Chicago School's assumptions of rational profit-seeking market actors. So Amazon's lines of business, to name some, they're a retailer, a marketing platform, a delivery and logistics network, a payment service, a credit lender, an auction house, a major book publisher, a producer of TV and film, a fashion designer, a hardware manufacturer, and a leading provider of cloud server space and storage. And all of these lines of business create a ton of conflicts of interest. But what's interesting is their involvement in multiple related business lines means that in many instances, Amazon's rivals are also its customers. The retailers that compete with it to sell goods may also use its delivery services, for example, and the media companies that compete with it to produce or market content may also use its platform or cloud infrastructure. At a basic level, this arrangement creates conflicts of interest. But critically here, not only has Amazon integrated across select lines of business, but has also emerged as a central infrastructure for the internet economy. Some reports have suggested this was Bezos' intent from the beginning, and that some employees have said that when he founded the business, his underlying goals were not to build an online bookstore or retailer, but rather a utility that would become essential to commerce. So Amazon controls key critical infrastructure for the internet economy in ways that are difficult for new entrants to replicate or compete against. This gives the company a key advantage over its rivals. Amazon's competitors have come to depend on it. Like its willingness to sustain losses, this feature of Amazon's power largely confounds contemporary antitrust analysis, which assumes that rational firms seek to drive their rivals out of business. Amazon's game is more sophisticated. By making itself indispensable to e-commerce, Amazon enjoys receiving business from its rivals even as it competes with them. I'm noting this. I think this is one of the most important parts. Moreover, Amazon gleans information from these competitors as a service provider that it may use to gain a further advantage over them as rivals, enabling it to further entrench its dominant position. This is huge. And again, I'm going to zero in on that last part. The last part is what made me stop right now to talk about it. The multiple lines of business is already a red flag that should be a slam dunk antitrust case in itself. But being the data that they collect, and because of their position in e-commerce infrastructure, they can collect data on their competitors that are forced to use them and then use that data against them to strengthen their power.